without any further ado, I have great pleasure in introducing Mr. Bradley Walsh.
Francis Coombs School is a very ordinary, small comprehensive in Watford. Comedian Bradley Walsh is an ex-pupil.
Yeah, thank you. It's nice to come back to this school, see all the friends, see all the teachers that have become friends. Nice to see you, Jeff. Nice to see the new regime that have taken over. There you are, hinge and bracket. You can understand, I'm absolutely revelling in this now. No lines, no detention. It's fantastic. Can you still understand the word Jeff says? Every time Jeff used to come up to me in the car and go, Jeff rang me and he's on the phone, he said, I might just assume that he wanted me to come down here and there's no flack, is there? I can't, you know what I mean. Sorry about that, mate. You're all like, aren't you, Jeff, sitting there? Nice to see you've still got this table I made in woodwork still with us. It's good that you've kept that on as a memento. Thanks a lot for inviting me, folks. Enjoy the evening. Come up, shake my hand. Make sure there's a fiver in your palm when you come up.
Comprehensive schools like Francis Coombs were designed to treat everyone equally. But 40 years later, pride of place on presentation night still goes to the successful candidates at A-level.
A-level courses give everything a point. They give the whole of the structure of school life a direction. It's very important for a school. It gives a school an extra edge. On one level, A-levels are elitist. But if you take away A-levels from a school such as ours, you drop everything. You're actually elitist then, not the other way around, because what you're saying is A-levels aren't for the likes of us. A-levels are obtainable and they are exciting, almost philosophically. It's absolutely vital for us to have A-levels. It's an act of faith.
Mysteriousness, growth, fertility.
It's an act of faith on which the school's future life may depend. There are fewer and fewer children in the Watford area, and soon one local school will have to close. Francis Coombs has to compete to survive, and without A-level courses, it might not be able to attract bright children or the best teachers.
Possessions when he leaves him.
Right, tell us a bit then, Gary. How does the play start?
But with only 600 pupils, can it go on filling its A-level classes? These are Francis Coombs' creme de la creme, and with the exams just weeks away, it will matter to everyone how well they do.
They got a very noble kind of love.
Gary is very, very talented. Words which are Roman-type words. He has a real flair for the subject and can write like an angel. He's got tremendous abilities, tremendous capabilities. Loves the subject, which of course is always a plus factor. Debbie is a marvellous student. She's like a piece of blotting paper, really. Whatever you teach her, she learns. She does all her assignments on time, and she has just progressed steadily along the course. It's a bit as if Shakespeare had a kaleidoscope and it keeps shifting. I've taught Joanne since the second year. She's lacking in confidence, always has been. Much given to doom and gloom and all is going to be terrible and I'm not going to pass. And back in about March, she was busy working out how she and where she could do her retakes. She absolutely was convinced that she wouldn't pass anything. By that, Graham. You don't want to be asked, do you?
Their teacher, Pat Annetts, has a reputation for spotting talent young, and also for taking no hostages when it comes to academic excellence.
Mysteriousness.
She used to terrify me. I used to cry to get out of her class. You'd hand in a piece of work that you'd worked really hard on and you thought, OK, so she'd rip it up in front of the class, you know, do it again.
In the first and second year, I have to admit, you do think of Miss Annetts as a dragon, but as you go through, you realise that she's like your nan or something and she really cares about you. It's just this, like, harsh exterior.
I've been in teaching an awful long time. I started teaching as an unqualified teacher in 1950. That's a long time ago. So you get an instinct for children. And where Gary was concerned, he was in a class in second years. I mean, Gary was only 12 then. I think he wrote a poem about a shark. And it had just got such a feeling for language in it. And he was ever so proud of that poem, and he gave it in. He kept coming in to me and saying, he was in room 26, he kept coming up here, because I've always taught in this room. He came in and he kept saying, "Did you like my poem? Was it good?" And I said, "Oh, it was brilliant." And it's up on the wall, and he kept coming in to look at it. And I thought, something about that one. So yes, then I just quietly removed him from that class, put him in my class. I don't think the member of staff ever even noticed, and I just kept him. Cat on a hot tin roof's been on a long time, so...
She actually came to me and said, "You're coming in my class," and that was it. I had no choice over the matter, I was just in her class. But even then, I did realise that it was the best thing for me. I knew that Miss Annetts was a brilliant teacher. Oh, I knew that it was going to be a lot harder and that I probably wouldn't live up to the standard that she wanted me to live up to. That's the fun bit.
Alongside English, Gary and Joanne are both taking A-levels in French and history. Debbie is taking biology and music. When she first came to the school with her twin brother Stephen, they were both obviously interested in music and obviously talented too. Music teacher John Hogarth had no difficulty spotting their potential.
Debbie Stephen came into year 7 the first year. And this is 7 years ago, mind you, were talking about. Debbie had always wanted to play the flute. And in fact, funnily enough, in Debbie and Stephen's year, it was actually a very, very musical year. Debbie is probably the more intelligent of the two and has probably worked harder at her music than Stephen has. She's obviously got a good musical talent. She's just as good a flautist as she is a pianist, so she'll do very well on that part of the exam.
The musical environment that the school's got, that's when it really began for me. We always had a piano. We had an old upright piano since we was about 3 or 4, I think. We used to just have a hammer about on it, you know, just to muck about, really. My mum plays the accordion. She used to go out around the clubs and things, playing to old people, that sort of thing. We used to go with her.
What's the top note? Anybody?
A.
I've never met a child yet, or an adult for that matter, who doesn't like music. They all enjoy either listening to music or singing or doing something musically, so I'm on to a good wicket to start with.
Trying to provide the whole range of activities and subjects that make up the traditional notion of British education tests the resources of any small comprehensive. But especially here, where Francis Coombe is competing with selective state schools and a strong private sector. To keep a viable sixth form going, Francis Coombe shared some teaching with another local comprehensive, Langleybury, but it hasn't been a success. With French A-level just days away, Francis Coombe teachers are having to lay on extra classes.
Right, I can see Gary writing what you have down. What you like. That's wrong. That's what's wrong with you. What? You must get your answer from the text. You mustn't kind of make it up as you go along. What about the end?
You can't lay the blame on any one person, but it was just a complete mess up, really. They said that they were going to get us a teacher who would teach us the literature we were supposed to be taught, and that didn't happen. We were going to have extra lessons after school, that didn't happen. And somebody was going to take us through the texts and revise them with us, but everybody said that they hadn't done the text, so they couldn't do it with us. And that was all a big problem, really. I stopped going to French lessons at Langleybury because I felt that they were a waste of my time because there was no one there.
P-U-R with a thingy over the U. What have you got to do in the feminine? It's an adjective. What have you got to do to feminine adjectives?
Put E's on them.
Oh, OK then, Gary. That's not very hard, is it?
Water is more than one, so you have to add an S as well.
It's feminine singular in the dictionary.
It's stupid, really, though. You can never have more than one water, because water together is all one.
He's off. He's off.
Just before the exams begin, Francis Coombe abandons the sixth form link. It's providing extra history classes too.
If you look at what's been written, it appears to be more reliable.
I think that the link was done very badly. The amount of teachers that didn't seem to have the dedication of the Francis Coombe teachers, that left early, that sometimes we even got taught wrong parts of the course and things like that. And all in all, I think it's not just a letdown for us as pupils, but also for Francis Coombe teachers.
However good or bad it may be in other ways, the school's future may eventually depend on its fragile academic reputation. In the previous year, just 23 pupils sat A-levels at Francis Coombe, and only 60% passed.
Look at the first bar. When I was single.
It's the last quaver, yeah. What is it?
For the students, good results are a ticket to places in further education. But in fact, those places are initially offered on the basis of what the teachers estimate their final A-level grades will be.
You're the goal. Otherwise, it would...
Well, I've already had to make an estimation of their A-level results, and I've estimated that Debbie's going to get a B, and Stephen's going to get a D.
And the other mistake I think you've all got. It's not
Debbie, I've taught her since the beginning of the third year. As far as English is concerned, B or a C. I could be terribly wrong. I was wrong last year when we got 5 grade A's out of 6, and I expected 1, so it can go either way. What's the best?
I don't know any...
I know Joanne's hoping for a grade A.
Why was there so little resistance to dissolution?
I would be happy if she gets a C, very disappointed if she gets a D, and delighted for her if she got a B or an A.
It's going to be terrible.
Gary, if he doesn't get a grade A, the system has let him down. His coursework has been absolutely outstanding.
I'm the only one I know.
He wrote a brilliant essay on the metaphysical poets, which is the equal of anything he would do in the first or second year at university.
Then I might leave very early.
Exams aren't just a test of knowledge or intelligence. They also show how well students have been trained at taking exams. In the final days, 45 years of experience are being packed into 18-year-old heads.
Antony and Cleopatra, it's been on a good few years now. It has always been up the top. On a practical note, bring some chocolate or some glucose. It's 3 1/4 hours.
Into the exam.
Well, Mr. Tyler isn't ever happy about it, you know, but... he was furious with me because I gave all of the 5th years a bar of chocolate as they went in. And he was, I think he thought I'd written the answers on the back. Too disciplined. Right. Anyway, I'll be down there. It's 9:15. Good luck, everybody, and I'll see you on Monday.
With any luck, I'm going to university to study ancient history and social anthropology. University College London. Offer me a place, and to get in I need 2 E's.
For Gary to be offered a place for only 2 A-levels at grade E from such a prestigious university is little short of an open invitation. But for the others, university offers will demand the very best that they can do.
All the universities I applied to gave me high grades, BBB, ABC. My lowest was BCC. I've got ABC from Manchester, which is my conditional. That's the one I've accepted.
Well, it's hot this afternoon, actually, isn't it? It's sort of that. We do fairly cold most of the day, and the last...
I'd obviously like to get an A, in all of them really, but particularly in music. When I think about it, I get all nervous that I'm not going to pass. But really, I'm quite confident. I think I'll be all right. To go to university, I need C, D, C in music and a D in English.
This is not a music lesson, nor is it a recital. It's an exam. All A-level music students have to perform in front of an audience. Their performance is recorded and then marked. At Francis Coombe, A-level exams have begun.
I couldn't write anymore. Just glad it's out of the way.
Fated to happen.
Could have been worse.
How?
I didn't even attempt the other one.
I've done all I could, so...
done the best I could.
Oh, that's...
Which tense? Post-historic. Well done!
But some exams are not going as well as others.
You've never read The Marriage of Figaro? How come?
Well, because I tried to get hold of a copy of it, and I could only get the English copy, so I just read the English.
So you didn't quote at all?
I wrote an essay plan for it, with a list of points of how I would have tackled the essay.
I don't think that counts, Gary. It's not English. You can't do that in French. You have to write the essay.
However, it may not be too late. Amanda Braun lays on yet another last-minute lesson.
There's absolutely no way you're not going to know what was going on throughout the whole passage. What I'm asking you to do is not leave a gap. And even if you have to guess that word by using something sensible in that gap, then you do that. Honestly, all the hard stuff, you've come through it. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we've all passed, even if we've only scraped. I hope that it all goes well for you. It's the end now for me. I've finished.
I think I might have an A so far. Definitely experience.
I'll say that again. See you, good luck.
Are they as rough as they look?
Yes. Bye then, all the best.
Last minute panic.
Last minute panic, yeah.
They don't look like kids who are actually going to pass.
No. Well, I don't think Joe and Gary will. In the mock, they both got E's. They scraped it. But that is because Gary didn't do half the exam. And he just didn't write any of the answers. He just thought, I can't do this, I'm not going to do it. But in the A-level, he's walked out of 2 exams.
Even in English, there are extra lessons during the exam period.
Both Joanne and Gary panicked in a really severe way. They both got a terrible attack of exam nerves. Final session. So I really took an enormous risk, and I went out and got a copy of The Fat Black Woman's Poetry by Grace Nichols. Studied it in extreme haste, and we did that. Gary and Joanne and myself did it in some extra lessons. It really was a gamble, because I didn't know if you could teach enough to enable them to write a worthwhile A-level answer on it. Would you like to read it, Gary? I don't expect you really. A lot of the success in teaching comes down to the relationships that you establish with the children. And the second thing that helps teachers to get the best out of every student in the class is to be very tenacious and never give up. And if you make it quite clear to them, you are never going to give up, and you are going to be absolutely tenacious, they give in sooner than you do. I know that we're going at tremendous speed, but the exam is next Monday.
Francis Coombe is a school full of individual teachers that care about the pupils and have a great influence on them throughout the school.
All ready?
And that's the most fundamental point of Francis Coombe.
Oh, this is it.
Yeah. Watch this. Spurs Shakespeare. Got an E on the end. Don't be 5 minutes per question, plus about 5 minutes on top of that. Where's Lorraine? Anyone seen Lorraine?
We've been camping down here for the past.
Good luck anyway.
Thank you.
Gary, Joanne, Debbie and the others have taken 7 or 8 exams in the past few days. But this, at last, is the final paper.
Start filling in the details at the top of your answer booklet. Your opponent code is 0660/2. Has everybody got everything they require? You have 3 1/4 hours. I'm starting you at 12 minutes past. You can begin.
Which Fat Black Woman did you do?
I did the first one about holding my breath. I started to do the second one and then decided that it'd be easier.
Yeah, well done. All over.
Yeah.
Well done.
No, I just think that was the most difficult.
one on the Following Heights and motorcycle. Oh, that was a gift, the Unibarber.
The exam paper and the essay I'd planned yesterday and gone through and everything and made notes and everything came up. That was Antony and Cleopatra, and I was dreading Antony and Cleopatra as well.
Right. And what about Cat on the Hot Tin Roof? Did you do the marriage one? So that was okay.
I wrote 4 sides on that. I was rather impressed.
Right,
So none of it was as bad as you thought it was going to be? No. Really good. So which Fat Black Woman did you do?
I did the first one.
Same as me.
What, the beads one?
Yeah, I was going to do the rhythm one, that one about rhythm, but I thought, I don't know.
And was it all right? Had we done enough?
Our teachers have given us that little bit more. I owe Miss Annetts 2 A's at GCSE, and whatever I get at A-level, I owe her so much more.
Told you Heathcliff would come up.
I actually managed to write lines on that. I owe her a great deal because of the amount of love, and that's the only word you can put it. It's love. She does really care for you.
Probably. I love them all of them. No matter the rogues, the ones who don't work, all of them. I think, I mean, I said I wouldn't let my daughters go into teaching, but in a way, I think it's the most marvellous job on earth to be with young people all the time. They're always looking forward. So many people, when they get old, they spend all their time looking back, the good old days, etc. Young people don't do that. And as long as you're in a building with young people, you're looking forward with them all the time. It's marvellous. It's great.
I think with so style. As well, yes. With style.
Now my duty to introduce me. I'm going to take the liberty of making a couple of serious points. Firstly, I don't think that you should ever regard education as a gift. It is your right. And however much the government, this government or other governments may connive to deprive you of that right through such iniquitous schemes as the government loan scheme replacing student grants, you must always remember that it is your right and that you should fight to keep that right. But there is a counterpart to that. And for those of you who are going on to higher education, it is this. You must never waste, you must never throw that right away. It has been too hard won in the past, so don't fritter it away.
Morning.
Morning, John.
Morning.
Nothing yet.
The postman's just here.
Is he? All right.
He's coming.
So you've seen the postman?
Yeah, he's just arrived. But he might be the ordinary postman. He might not be the data post.
Francis Coombe has always encouraged pupils to stay on in the sixth form, even if they didn't stand much chance of success. But nowadays, a few more failures could put the school at the bottom of the league tables.
What was he actually pulling in front of me?
If these results are not good, the school will have to be tougher about offering sixth form places in the future.
Sign in there, and there, and date all 3 as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Right, let's go, John.
Everybody got English.
100%, yeah.
3 A's.
3 A's. Who are the A's then?
Lorraine.
Yeah. Lorraine A.
Joanne.
Yeah.
And Gary.
Got it. Fantastic. well. That's brilliant.
These results are the final verdict on a 7-year relationship between the teachers and the pupils. In fact, this year the pass rate is up to 70%. It's vital ammunition in a world that teachers find increasingly hostile.
And you see what teachers actually do on a day-to-day basis. To then pick up a paper and to see that we're to blame for football violence or this or that is a slap in the face for us. It's wrong, and teachers are fighting a great deal of negative forces to enable children to function successfully and happily and gainfully in society.
Yeah, Stephen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, C for magic. Oh no, class. So, biology to come.
What'd you get?
C.
C in English.
Debbie got a C in English, an E in biology, but a D in music.
You want to get Reading, don't you?
Yeah, it should be all right.
You should be all right.
Yeah. So just, I'm supposed to get a C, but I got a D, so. Should be all right.
Thanks. No, I'm going to do it on my own.
Where are you going?
I don't know.
All right, good luck.
Yeah.
Past friend. Excellent. A-B-E. Not bad.
You pleased?
Just a bit, yeah. A past French.
Yeah.
Well done, Gary. That's very
really
good
pleased.
set of results.
Very pleased.
No problems. We better find Joe.
Okay.
Yeah, well done. That's very good.
Thanks very much, sir.
I got an A in English, a B in history, and then I passed French as well. So.
Joanna's got an A, a B and a D. She should have got an A, a B and a C. But even if you haven't got exactly the grades your university demanded, you may still be able to claim your place.
Shall we ring them now?
The only way to find out is to hit the phone.
Thank you.
Those times that you go through with pupils when you try and steer them through all the little dangerous rocks and so on en route to A-level success.
Hamilton.
You've lived a part of their life with them, and it's also been a part of your own life, and you've given something to that.
Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
You've really committed yourself to their ideal, and for a time you also want to achieve those goals almost selfishly, almost for yourself. And when they do, the excitement is, those moments are times you never forget.
Right, thank you. Thanks, bye. Yeah.
You're in?
Yeah. Good.
Debbie is now studying to be a teacher at Reading.
Well done. Thanks for your help.
Brilliant. Lovely.
Joanne got into Manchester and Gary's at University College. Francis Coombs' A-level staff live to teach another year.
It's nice to be back here. It's nice to see the school has become what it has become. And actually, it's always nice. I mean, where I am in the country, and Sylvia says, I was looking through the school tables of where they've come and the exam results and stuff like that, and it's nice to see that we did really, really well, because I'm still very, very proud of this place, and I'll never, ever, ever forget my time here to the day I die. Thanks very much indeed. Really appreciate it.